Good morning and good time or good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so pleased to be here. My name is Sam from Salvona Technologies. Together with us are the other formulators, Moy from Bangkok and Brian from New Jersey. Both formulators did a wonderful job, and with their teams, of course. And I want to welcome you and welcome everybody to this is our second webinar on Formulation Live. Of course, we don't show you the formulation live, exactly live, but we film it ahead. Otherwise, we'll have to maybe for the formulas, the number of formulas we have today, you have to spend the whole morning with us. But we try to condense it, accelerate it, so we can communicate the major steps of the formula. You can see the formula in this broadcast. So let me share the screen with you so we can start moving forward. So before I start, as always, I like to know if you can hear me and you can see me. Please write your name on the chat line. Please write your name if you can see me and if you can hear me well. Thank you very much. Please continue to have your name. So I know that you, first of all, that you see me, you are there, which I don't like to talk to myself. So seeing your name is a kind of encouraging point. The chat will be to write your comments. If you have questions, please use the question and answer page. I will try to address some of the questions during the broadcast. If I cannot do it, then we will try to do it afterwards by email or by Zoom. But I really encourage you to write your notes and come back to us and send us feedback by email or call or any other methods. So help us improve. We hope that every broadcast we do, we get a little bit better than before. And I want to thank those of you who send us some comments. We consider them seriously and try to improve. Like this time, we open the broadcast to more people, so more people can attend. And I also want to remind you, if for some reason, you know, people that could not attend but would like to, so this broadcast is available, recorded on salvona.com, and you are invited to watch it and share it with other people. So this is also on YouTube. If you check for Salvona, you can get all the webinars from YouTube. I think there is a lot of information that could enhance your understanding of the cosmetic field, the formulation, and our technologies. And especially you will learn about the value for you to make some better product for all of us and for the world. Okay, I would like to start our presentation for today. And first of all, let's focus what is the problem that we're trying to address. And this will be our introduction to our business today. So the problem that we're trying to address, we're trying to figure out formulations and products that can help people with, for example, uneven or patches of oil and dry skin, uneven skin in terms of the color, colorization, but also in terms of oil content. People that have blemishes. Blemishes are not acne. We don't speak about acne or OTC kind of product in this broadcast. There will be a separate one for acne, OTC, and so on. For this, we're talking about how to help people with blemishes, uneven, dull, irritated, like inflammation, so you see redness and so on. Again, you see blemishes, some acne, some blemishes, inflammation, tired, not bright, and fine lines. So this is the problem that we're trying to address. What is the purpose of this specific meeting? Is that at the end of this webinar, you will be informed and also experience with the formulation of several products that use in skincare, all about enhancing the skin beauty and health. We use words like rejuvenation, smoothing, brightening, cleansing, and toning. For all this purpose, we need this type of solutions, and we will talk about the solution. The focal point in our solution is a technology called SalSphere Salicylic Acid, or actually it's called SalSphere Even Skin. It's contained salicylic acid and other materials in combination with salicylic acid. And what we would like to show you is how easy it is to formulate with salicylic acid to make very nice, effective, and skin-friendly product. So in this broadcast, I will review SalSphere Even Skin a little bit, and then we go ahead immediately to show you how to formulate wash, toner, serum, and mask. 4 totally different product concepts that could be very useful for your work. So this is a good training session because we're trying to teach more than everything else. So what is the technology that we are focusing on? SalSphere Even Skin. It's a sub-micron sphere with a hydrophobic core. As you can see, the core is made out of lipids, the lipids that enable this particle to stick to the skin and to dissolve in the skin and to retain the salicylic acid inside the core, so the salicylic acid and other ingredients can very slowly release, so they don't irritate the skin. Then the particle is covered with a bioadhesive polymer that helps in the adhesion and in the suspension of the tiny particle. This is not a particle that you can see. You need an electron microscope to be able to see it. So it is basically almost totally clear. The salicylic acid, together with exfoliating enzymes, bromelain, for example, are encapsulated within all the 3 elements. 2 enzymes and salicylic acid are all encapsulated within the core. So what do we know about SalSphere Even Skin? And before that, why should you use it? What's the reason for you to use it? I will try to answer this. Okay, the first reason is when you want to make a product that can repair uneven skin, to smooth, to reduce scars, and to remove excess oil, this is a perfect raw material to use. This material also used to remove whiteheads, blackheads, everything to do with clearing the skin, reducing the pore size. Visually, you can see how the pore size reduce because it will dissolve the sebum, the hardened sebum that make the pores so visible. It enables absorption of anti-aging product. This material, this technology is exfoliating, reducing the dead skin on top of the skin. So by removing the dead skin, you allow to absorb more of the anti-aging, the moisturizers that you will put in the formula. So people can see a better response on their skin. It also helps to adhere the makeup, so the makeup can stay for longer. It reduces blemishes and other skin disorders. So for all topical disorders, this is an ideal technology. And in general, exfoliating the skin helps to enhance a natural glow and youthness of the skin. So this is the motivation. Why should you even consider a technology for your product? What do we know about SalSphere Even Skin? And I showed it to you on my previous webinar when I was talking about this for half an hour. So now in a few minutes, bottom line, it's a very skin-friendly formula. It keeps the pH at about 5.5. It's a time release of salicylic acid and exfoliating botanical enzymes. Number two, we know that it is exfoliating because we did some clinical testing. And you can see here that SalSphere Even Skin is able to exfoliate twice as much as free salicylic acid from a rinse-off application. From a leave-on application, it's also able to exfoliate significantly more, about twice more than the free salicylic acid. So it's definitely provide a benefit to our skin. Now, when do we use it? So let's look at the layers that one would use on the skin. So I'm not starting with makeup because not everybody is using makeup, but cleansing is the first step. Cleansing, cleaning the skin. It goes after that, we have an exfoliation. What we try to do here in the demonstration is to combine the cleansing with exfoliation, unless we have a special treatment that's called exfoliation. It has nothing to do with the daily routine. But here in this picture, you see the daily routine. So cleansing, gentle exfoliation, or treatment, which is 1 to twice a week. Then we go into a toner, a serum, moisturizer, maybe special cream or treatment. And at the end is always a UV protection. So these are the layers. Now, how do we get into this layer? So the first one is we'll show you a formula for cleansing and exfoliating. The second one, we're going to show you a toner with exfoliating. Then we're going to show you a serum with exfoliating, and eventually show you a treatment, a mask for treating the skin, pampering the skin with exfoliation. So exfoliation is the basic elements after just cleansing to rejuvenate the skin and to enhance the appearance of the skin. We recommend exfoliation daily. So now you understand the technology that we are going to introduce, and now we will go through the formulation part. We're all going through products that contain an exfoliation element with our technology, at least one of the technologies, and we introduce some other elements that could support synergized with exfoliation. Please look at these formulas that we are sharing with you very openly so you can utilize them, you can improve on them. So look at this as a concept product and as a guide only, because we're going to show you the principles and you just can repeat the principles, sometimes with different elements. And we invite you to modify them, make them your own, based on the principles that we are going to introduce to you now. So the first product that we're going to talk about is a wash. It could be a facial wash, and later on I will show you that it could be any type of wash. So this wash is used as a daily facial wash, but again, it can be used as a platform. So for functional benefits such as anti-blemish wash, brightening wash, skin smoothing wash, or scalp treatment wash, or foot care, and so and so and so. You can use multiple ways to target the specific item that you want to handle with this wash. Now, we always like to add, when we present a product to you, we would like to add a sensory element because we think that sensory, the ability to convey the action to the customer, it's very important. Sometimes the customer can see and feel the benefit, but sometimes the benefits are not so visual, especially not after a single treatment. So we add some elements to enhance, to convey the efficacy of the product. In this case, we are using a refreshing element that goes with the wash. So imagine that you will take a warm water wash, but you will feel fresh, like cooling, but not really cold, but cooling and tingling. So we are using this element to convey the exfoliating and the other benefits of the product. And the fresh coming up typically at the end. So here is the formula in front of you. I don't know how much of you can pick up all the elements of the formulas, but you see there is fraction A, which is the water-soluble elements. And then we go to the surfactant, C is our sensory technology. It's called hydrosal cool. It used only at 1% and it's good enough to get you the benefit. And then the exfoliating is SalSphere Even Skin. And eventually we use a preservative in this case. Now I will go step by step to explain you the formula, and then I'm going to show you. So you see by your eye what's happening, how does it look like, and what kind of issues may happen and how you address them. This formula has only 7 steps, and this is probably the longest, one of the longest formulas I'm going to show you. So it starts with a vessel that you warm up with water. To the water, you add the glycerin. This is step number 1. Step number 2, you dissolve the thickener. The thickener is hydroxyl propyl cellulose. You will see we will use carbomers as well, and we want to show you how SalSphere Even Skin is compatible with carbomer. You don't have to use any specific thickeners any longer. So like we had this problem in the past, and we fixed this with SalSphere Even Skin. Step number 3 is the cleansing surfactant. Then we add the forming booster surfactant. Then we add the actual active or the functional ingredients, the exfoliation technology, and they all blend in smoothly and easily. And at the end, we add the refreshing element to the product. And of course, we finish with the preservative. So these are the different steps. What I failed to tell you in the beginning, you warm up the water with the glycerin, you add the hydroxyl propyl cellulose to accelerate the solubility, but then you have to cool it to room temperature, and then you can add all the other ingredients. So this is environmentally friendly process. You don't need to heat it really high temperature. So now let's watch the process itself. This is Bryan explaining you what he's doing.
First, the glycerin is added to water.
Step number 1. The specific amount is all detailed in the formula itself, so we don't need to repeat it.
Next, we add the Klucel EF very slowly to the water and glycerin mixture. If you wish, you may heat this to aid in solubilization.
Very important to add the Klucel slowly, not everything to dump in at once. Okay, this takes some time to dissolve and to get a homogeneous suspension.
Once all the Klucel EF has been added, mix until homogeneous.
Okay, that takes time, so we accelerate the process.
Now that our water phase is homogeneous, we will allow it to cool down to room temperature. Once the water phase is cooled to room temperature, the surfactant phase may be added. First, we will add the Protolan AG95C. This is sodium cocoyl glutamate. This is our cleansing surfactant.
It's a very mild surfactant. It will not dry the skin. Fixing the speed of the blender of the mixer. So that takes a few minutes, and you see that it starts to get clearer and ready for our second forming booster.
Next, the amphotensid B5, which is cocamidopropyl betaine, will be added. This is our foaming surfactant.
This way you see the order and you understand why we add and what we add in what order. So you can actually use other type of surfactant with the same purpose. So when this is all mixed together and homogeneous, we can move on.
Now our first technology SalSphere Even Skin will be added. This is our encapsulated salicylic acid and will provide exfoliating power to this wash.
You see, so far the product is clear and it stays like
Next,
this.
our second technology, hydrosalsalcool, will be added to the formulation. This will provide a sensory benefit in the form of a cooling effect on the skin. And finally, our preservative, La Natural Ultra 3, is added to the formulation.
This is a natural preservative alternative to regular preservatives.
Now we allow it to mix until homogeneous, and we have our SalSphere Even Skin face wash.
Okay, as you let the product mix a couple of hours, then you get a very clear product. Eventually the product looks like this. See, it's clear product with a reasonable viscosity for the application. This can be packed in different type of containers, disposable. It's clear, so you can use a clear package, or you can even use it with a package with a little bit of a sponge to enhance the exfoliation process by the movement as well as the chemical process. The product can be used, this platform can be used for facial wash, but not only for facial and body wash, also for scalp in as a shampoo form, because it's forming very nicely and adhering the salicylic acid and other elements, and also for foot care to smooth scaly skin. So what can we say about this? That a wash leaves the skin clean, clear, and refined without over drying or irritation, while fighting the signs of aging. For example, uneven skin, discoloration, fine line, and so on. It's a time-release salicylic acid cleanser and exfoliates acne-prone skin. So when I say acne-prone, then it already means that this is targeted toward consumers with acne-prone skin. Doesn't have to be, but it's an option to say. What kind of claims one can use with this product? It's a dry skin relief. It's a cleansing, of course. It's invigorating, and you can feel it. It's anti-blemish. It has the elements there of salicylic acid. Complexation perfection. It's exfoliating and brightening the skin. And so these are the basic claims that you can make with this type of product. I hope you learn from this short demonstration how to make a wash, how to apply to different targeted areas, and get different claims relating to this. We will come back to different washes in the future with other elements in addition to exfoliation, like combining anti-aging, combining hydration, combining other elements together with the hydration in order to get a synergistic elements. Now let's move into product number 2, toner. A toner with SalSphere Even Skin. Some of you are familiar with toners, some of you may not be so familiar. So toner in general helps to remove excess dirt, traces of oil and makeup. It's correct and balance the pH of the skin and allow fast penetrating of delivery of other ingredients such as moisturizer, hydration elements to the skin. So this is the elements of toner. Toner is not coming instead of wash or exfoliating wash. It's coming in addition after you wash the skin. So this is an additional step. Some toners are more targeted. Okay, so they say we not only wash and cleanse, but we also help to control acne, for example, or remove some dead skin, or help whitening the skin, and so on. So there may be other applications or more specific targeted claims to use toner. A toner should be always after washing and before actual serum or moisturizing. Our next product will be serum. Now, why we add even skin exfoliating to a toner? Because it helps to remove the dead skin. It helps to cleanse the skin. And by doing so, we prepare the skin for the next layer, which is the serum with the anti-aging hydrating element. So each one is building block for the next step. This is the formula. And the formula is made out of practically 6 steps. It's a simple formula. It contains, of course, the water phase. And then we are using a derivative of ascorbic acid, but you can use any other technology that has some anti-aging benefit. And we have multiple, but here we decided to use ethyl ascorbic acid. We use the SalSphere Even Skin for the exfoliation, and a licorice extract, which I will talk about this in a moment. Now, this is not a water-based, not rich in water product. It's mostly oily. So we can use a moderate preservative such as potassium sorbate. Here is the actual formulation step by step. I explain it and then you see it in action. So we start with a warm vessel. This is our step number 1. Remember, we have only 6 steps in this process. Before that, we had 7 steps. Now 6. So propandiol and water are mixed together. Then we had the hydrating element, which is the glycerin. Then we add the anti-aging element, which is the ethyl ascorbic acid. Then look at this. A part of the anti-aging or the functionality of the product, we also add the licorice. Licorice has a skin smoothing property. It can be very effective to solve the issue of uneven skin tone. That's why licorice is added. This works very well with our next step, 4, which is adding the exfoliation. So exfoliation also helps to solve the issue of uneven tone and smoothing skin. So we add the SalSphere Even Skin as step number 4. Step number 5 is the skin treatment, which is the licorice. And at the end, we add the preservative. And I said this is a natural preservative added at a small concentration, and it's sufficient because the product is practically anhydrous. So here is the process itself with brine.
First, the Zimea is added to the water.
I'm sorry, that's a primitive way of warming up the beaker, but this is what we do in the lab. Of course, in production.
Next, the glycerin is added to the water. And what this and the Zimea will do is help match the refractive index of the water to our active ingredients.
Okay, we want the toner to be crystal clear. So this is the process we do in order to make it crystal clear. Fast forward. So now we are ready to add the vitamin C.
Next, we will add our ethyl ascorbic acid. This is our water-soluble vitamin C. Next, we will add our encapsulated salicylic acid, SalSphere Even Skin. This will provide exfoliating power to the toner. Now our licorice extract and glycerin will be added.
You may be able to add the licorice earlier. It's up to you. But now everything is added, and you will see in a moment how clear it is.
Finally, we add the potassium sorbate to the toner, and the formulation is complete, once mixed until homogeneous.
You see 6 simple steps adding to the same vessel, and we always think about making it productive, cost-effective, and practical for formulators, but not only formulators, but also for manufacturers. So if you use only one bucket, one vessel, it's much easier to handle and continue with the process into one, and then empty it and just fill up the units that you would like. So let's review now. The toner that comes out from this process looks like this. You see, it's a clear liquid, liquid product. The toner can be packed in any kind of disposable units. Either you push on or you squeeze on, and you put it on a cotton and you can use it. What's unique about this toner? It's great for oil, for oily or combination skin type or both. It helps to reduce and remove the excess oil and dirt, makeup without stripping the essence of the sebum that keeps the skin moisture. We are using witch hazel. We could use other elements as well. It's a natural astringent known for oil reducing and anti-inflammatory properties. Possible claim for this kind of formula, it's balance your skin surface pH level, visibly tightening the pores, reducing the size. It removes impurity and it gives you freshness. It develops to cleanse, tone, moisturize, and so on. Offers antioxidant and antibacterial benefits because of the elements that we incorporated into the formula, and it brings about a natural glow. I think this is the most important when you use a toner at the end. Now, after the toner, I would like to take you into a serum formula. This serum formula is coming from Bangkok, our partner in Alpha Tech Science. Moy and her team developed this formula, and I'm presenting it on their behalf. So what is serum? To those who are not familiar, we're talking about lightweight liquid that used to moisturize when you apply it on the skin. You apply it directly, as you can see in the picture. You don't need a sponge for this. It's not like toner that you apply and then you remove it. Here you want to do the opposite. You want to add something light. It's not coming to replace a moisturizer. It's coming to add another layer after the toner. So this is the basic feature of serum. Now, serum, when you add to the serum an exfoliating function, you practically help to penetrate the moisturizer and the other functional ingredients deeper into the skin. So it's supposed to give you a flexible skin. And in order to do this, the exfoliating agents are able to remove the hard and the dead skin on the top. It typically leaves the skin firmer, smoother, and reduces the appearance of pores and increase overall hydration. Serum should always be applied after cleansing or toning. You see, I put cleansing and toning almost in the same category, and before the moisturizer. So serum is part of the moisturizing procedure. And this comes much before any kind of sunscreen that you would put on the skin. Here is the formula of the anti-blemish serum as an example. And I will explain here multiple things. So we have the first phase A, and it's interesting that we are using here carbomer as our thickener. And this is to demonstrate to you that you can use carbomer with SalSphere Even Skin, although carbomer is sensitive to the ionic strength. In this case, we show you that it's possible to use carbomer as a major thickener. Then we have here a blend that contains a very strong hydrating element and thickener. We mix the SalSphere Even Skin, although it's clear and liquid, we mix it together with the PEG 40. Then we neutralize it with the TEA and hexandiol. So this blend here, hexandiol, in this case, is used as a preservative alternative because we claim this product to be preservative free. There is no legal preservative. And at the E phase, this is a visual element. These are colorful beads. In this case, we use green beads that are easily to suspend in the product. And when you apply them on the skin, they easily, with a tiny touch, they break down and you don't see any residue, but it gives you a nice visual effect. Now, together with the serum, we add other elements, and we opened up several elements that you can see on the right to the anti-aging claim of the serum. So one can add hydrosol youth, which is a technology to deliver hyaluronic acid to moisturize, to hydrate the skin. Other technology could be hydrosol cool if you're looking for a refreshing sensation. What's unique about hydrosol cool, it's clear and it's totally odorless, and it's not based on menthol. There is no evaporation of menthol, and there is no chance to hurt the eye because it's a neurological sensation and not a physical sensation. It does not based on evaporation of menthol that could touch and irritate the eye. It's based on activating some neurological sensations. This other one is SalSphere Natural Anti-Aging, which is based on some polyphenols that are targeted the wrinkles and brightening of the skin. And so SalSphere Light is another technology that targets brightening of the skin, specifically with natural ingredients from grape and from berries. So some of them are natural, some of them are more synthetic, but they're all about adding another element to the serum to make it hydrating, anti-aging. Now the actual formula, this case again, only 6 steps. Now it may seem to you some complicated. I'll try to simplify it, really basic. So at the end, you will be able to follow exactly as we say in the formula. So this is water and diglycerin. This is number 1. You don't need to warm it a lot, but a little bit just for the carbomer phase. So we put the carbomer into the system. The carbomer is the thickener. This is step number 2. Step number 3, we add the hydration, moisturizers, and another phase of the thickener. So this is building up the viscosity of the product. Number 4, now we make separately a blend of hydrogenated castor oil with SalSphere Even Skin. This is soluble immediately, so you can add them as one unit into the major vessel. Number 5, we add the triethanolamine with hexandiol diluted in water. When all this mixed together in minutes, you can add them to the vessel. And the last thing is SalColor Green. This is the name of the technology, SalColor Green, and easily mixed up, and it's ready to go. You see, there is no preservative. This is a preservative-free formulation. Now, here we go to the actual formulation. So this is the main batch, main vessel. We add the carbomer. It takes some time. It may take some warming maybe, but eventually it will dissolve and start to thicken up. Not at this point, but later on it will thicken up. This is the blend that we add to thicken up. We have to add it slowly while mixing until we get a completely homogeneous. Separately in a different beaker, the salicylic acid, SalSphere Even Skin with the PEG 40. It ends up with a very smooth, clear product, although it's looked like opaque, triethanolamine to neutralize pH with hexandiol as an alternative preservative. The more you mix it, the more it will be clear. And toward the end, when it's already the powder, it's a beads. It's called SalColor, and they are green. You can get them in different colors. They are all listed in Salvona catalog. And this is the end. This is the end. Now, how does the product look at the end? That's what you get. It's a It's a kind of a thickened liquid with clear with the green beads. The green beads mixture could be packaged in something like this, the dispenser. It's crystal clear with the green beads. The green beads here are used to convey the fact that you're using a special technology or the fact that you're using some natural ingredient. That's why you use the green. But other color could be related to other aspect of the marketing message. The serum is a liquid gel that can contain high level of other actives in addition to the exfoliating elements. For example, a combination of antioxidant you can add brightening agents, moisturizing, hydrating, wrinkle repair, and others. So the serum afterward, the serum is very lightweight. You barely feel it when you put it in. It's immediately absorbed onto the skin. It's easy to layer. You don't feel any residue of the salicylic acid. Typically, a SalSphere Even Skin in some bed formulation may feel like forming a white residue because of the elements out there. Here in this product, they are totally soluble. There is no residue on the skin. There is no residue from the technology, not from the beads. It just totally breaks down, and they don't make the skin green. This is not a technology that will color the skin, which I will show you next. This one is just breaks down the beads and you don't see them. And again, it's all a preservative-free formula. So now we went through three different formulas. Remember, we talked about the wash and how the wash can be used to multiple purposes. Then we go into a toner, which is cleansing, exfoliating at the same time, preparing the skin. Now, a serum is now adding some anti-aging elements in addition to hydrating, moisturizing, but the feel is very light. So if you want to get this light feel, not heavy on the skin, without residue, this is a good example of this kind of product. Okay, so this is the third. Now I want to go into a wash-off mask. This is a unique mask that Bryan developed and unfortunately cannot explain it, so I will explain it on his behalf. But if you have any questions, he is available to answer your comments, your questions. What is the wash-off? Wash-off mask is a mask. It's like a heavy cream that you put on your skin and you wait a couple of minutes and then you rinse it off. So you are basically combining the benefit of a leave-on and a wash-off. This is fantastic because when you have it a leave-on, you get enough contact time with the skin. So many of the material could transform from the base into the skin gradually with security that they will actually transfer and you don't just wash it off. And you have the wash off. In this case, you can remove all the elements that you don't want to stay on the skin. In case of exfoliating mask, you definitely need a wash off because it will help to remove the dead skin and purify your skin. So the mask can be used just as a mask to soothe and pamper the skin, but it also can be used for more targeted purpose. For example, for people with acne-prone skin, people that would like to have just a brightened skin, smoother skin. So you can alter this basic platform into your whatever marketing story you want to build up. So this mask that we're showing here is a resurfacing mask, exfoliating. And it uses both salicylic acid and botanical biological enzymes. So it's a very gentle way to smooth the skin, to soften the skin. At the same time, because of the long contact time, you have a nourishing effect that works very well together with the exfoliation. So while you exfoliate, you also enable the penetration of multiple anti-aging elements into the skin, as well as hydrating elements. So as I said before, this kind of mask is you add as a cream, you wait a few minutes, and then you wash. But this is regular mask. Now I want to show you a very unique mask. this is a special mask. And what makes this mask so special is this mask is able to communicate with you. In other words, it has a sensory element that the consumer can get excited because the consumer can activate or at least witness the activation of the system. And the activation occurs when you rub the product on your skin, you will see a color change. The color change will indicate that you activate the system. How we do it? As formulators, I can tell you the secret. We're using a technology that's called SalColorFX, and we have it in different versions. And here we present one. Here is a bead that you see in the picture, and the core of the bead is green color, a green pigment, and the surface, the shell, is white. So when you look at the beads, they are white. They blend into your product easily, not like SalColor. SalColor have a color, like you remember the green that we use in the serum. SalColorFX are able to change the color when you rub them on the skin. So when you rub them, the particle completely collapses, and then the white color got lost, but the green color is exposed. In this case, you see when you apply it on red inflamed skin and you add the green color is able to mask the red. So this is for inflammation, for example, but you can use it for anything. The green color is typically used to convey that you're using natural ingredients. And in general, the color change is used to convey that you activate, and it really releases after rubbing. So you really have to rub it, and I show you here. I'll show you in a minute how it works exactly, but let's go into the formula. This is our central point. So this is a kaolin-based bentonite mask. Xanthan gum, glycerin, kaolin, and bentonite. This is the essence of the mask. In it, of course, we use silicons. And this is what we call phase A. In phase B, we use other elements that help us, including some synthetic waxes that help us to convey the thickening effect of the mask with silicons. And in C and C star, so C, we're using SalSphere Even Skin. This is our major exfoliating elements. But here, what is the star? That we can add to this not only exfoliating, but we could add multiple anti-aging technologies, such as, you see here, SalSphere Natural Anti-Aging, or SalSphere Resveratrol, or Hydrosal Youth with hyaluronic acid. So a variety of technologies can be added to target and to make it your own formula. We add a preservative here because we do have some water, a significant amount of water actually. And this SalColorFX is our technology, and we call it white to green. And the level required to get a significant color change is 1.5%. So it's a very small level, and it's added. You will not see that it's added. Now here is the process itself. Bryan,
First, we add water to the main vessel and then begin heating to 65 to 70 degrees Celsius. First, we will pre-mix the xanthan gum with the glycerin, as the xanthan gum will not be compatible with the water by itself, so it must be wetted in glycerin before being added to the water. This premix should be mixed thoroughly, and there should be no chunks left over.
This is an optimized formula. We had many trial and errors. So
you may need to increase your propeller speed, as this mixture will increase the thickness of the water.
We are happy to share this formula with you after a process of optimization.
Next, we will add the colloidal kaolin to the water phase.
You see that we give you the trade names as well as the inky names. So you can use exactly the same process with the same ingredients.
Now the bentonite will be added to the water phase. And these last two ingredients that we just added are added to the water phase to provide some texture and a little bit of richness to the final formulation. Now I will begin heating one of the liquid components to the oil phase, the GChem CTG.
Trying to put everything on one hot plate so we can see both processes, but of course you can do it separately.
Now I will add the GChem GMS 165 to the oil phase. And since there is such a small amount of CTG, it should be fairly warm already, so that should melt fairly quickly. And now I will add the final component of the water phase, the gram powder QSC. And what this is a polymethyl silsesquioxane silica cross polymer. So this will provide the final formulation with a very nice soft feel. Now the cetyl alcohol will be added to the oil phase. And what this and the GChem GMS 165 will help to do is to emulsify the oil into the water phase.
I hope you can follow up. There are two different vessels. Two different vessels that work simultaneously.
Now the SW65U will be added, and what this is a titanium dioxide dispersion. This will provide the final formulation with a slight SPF boost.
It will make it white, clear white, so you can see the effect with the green, when the green comes up.
Next, the stearic acid will be added to the oil phase.
So at the end, you get a very nice white musk.
Finally, the Grandsil SBG11 will be added to the oil phase. And this is a dimethicone in shea butter dispersion. And what this will provide the final formulation with is a very nice moisturization effect. Now that both of our phases have been added together, we will check the temperatures of both. And if both are between 65 and 70, we may begin adding the oil phase to the water phase. Now I will begin to slowly add the oil phase to the water phase. As it is being added, it will thicken considerably, so the speed of the propeller may need to be increased. Once all of the oil phase has been added to the water phase, mix at temperature for another 10 minutes and then begin to cool to room temperature. I will now check the temperature to ensure that the mask base is below 30 degrees Celsius.
This is the phase to add the active ingredients.
Now I will begin adding our first technology, the SalSphere Even Skin. And what this is encapsulated salicylic acid. So this will provide an exfoliation effect to the formulation. Next, I will add our preservative, Uxo PE 9010. Now I will remove the mask formulation from the propeller and add the final ingredient with hand mixing. Now I will add our final ingredient, the SalColorFX white to green. And what this will do is provide a sensory effect on the skin. So as you rub it in, the formulation will turn from white to green. Here is your final formulation, the SalSphere Even Skin Mask with SalColorFX white to green.
Great, thank you very much. So you see how simple it is to make a wash-off mask. A couple of comments to say. What you get at the end is a white mask. It's a little bit thick. When you add it on the hands, on the skin, after a day, you will see first it's white, and then a little bit of rubbing makes it green. So you have to let it stay in the mask for at least overnight in order to soften the beads. So when the bead first added, they're hard, they cannot break by mixing. But over time, the beads swallow, absorb water, become softer, so you can break them when you rub them. You can change the intensity of the green, of course, by adding more of the beads, like you see in this picture. And the area that you rub in, you definitely change the color, and consumer can see first that they activated the system. Two, they can see where they applied, so they can make control. They can control that they really cover the whole area, or the whole area that changed the color. So what can we say about it? It's a deeply cleansing and detoxifying mask. Help manage excess oil for acne-prone skin or just for normal skin. What is so special about this? It's consumer activates the mask. You give the power to the consumer. The consumer can get a very creamy clay, natural clay based, which is very gentle and easy cleaning. It's minimizing the appearance of pores, so the skin look very balanced, velvety, clean, matte finish. You remove the oiliness. Of course, it draws out the excess oil, impurities, as a good mask can do. Possible claims, first of all, it's exfoliating, it's brightening by sort of reducing the old skin, it's reducing its redness reduction, it's color changing, so you can see that it works. You can claim anti-blemish, depends how much of the even skin you put in, rejuvenating the skin, and so on. So I showed you 4 different product concept: a wash, a toner, a serum, and a washable mask. They all are using an exfoliating technology, and I explained the benefit of this in terms of removing the dead skin, rejuvenating, brightening, hydrating, toning, soothing, reducing the excess oil, and overall provide a younger looking appearance. Thank you very much for staying with me with this webinar. I hope we were able to convey to you our seriousness and our commitment to develop new technologies and provide you the support in terms of formulation. Of course, other support in terms of regulatory processing, it's also available. You are always invited to contact us You can contact me by different methods, by either a mobile phone and other apps like WeChat, like WhatsApp and LinkedIn and so on, and by simple email or by phone. Typically, I would not pick up the phone because otherwise I will be overwhelmed. But if you send me an email, that would be great. You can also communicate with Bryan in terms of formulation. He is the best person to answer you any questions that you have about the formulas. Please send the email and we will forward it to Bryan, and Bryan will do his best to provide you. The same thing I would like to thank for Bryan team group, and also to Mo's team group in Bangkok to support us with interesting formulas. Unfortunately, we used only one in this program, but of course we will use more coming up. We like to have formulas from US and from other labs as well. So right now we have a very good collaboration with our team in Alpha Tech Science in Bangkok that supports all Asian customers and doing a great job in this way. We have shown you here how to produce your formulas. But in case you have a problem or you're not a producer and you still would like, then we would suggest you to contact Advanced Beauty Lab. This is our sister company and they have direct access to our technologies, to our formulas, and they will be able to provide you either the bulk or the units, the finished unit that you can use for your marketing effort. So we provide a full capacity to support our different type of customers. The person to contact in advancedbeautylabs.com or by phone to Jeff Gohar at the number related on the screen. So please call him and you will get more information about these and many other formulas that work in the same way. They all utilize Salvona's proprietary technologies.